This painting from the 20th century is by Father Siga Koda. Intimacy of the Last Supper. Fear, sadness, confusion, expectation, resignation, last and first, ending, beginning. The curtain tearing between worlds. A womb. Sanctuary. Invaded. Part of the more famous Leonardo da Vinci. Is it John next to Jesus? Is it Mary Magdalene? In our readings for morning prayer this morning, we read from Luke's Gospel. An account of the plot to kill Jesus. Judas and the chief priests. Chief priests desiring to maintain the status quo, their comfortable compromise with the Romans and their people. Compromise between religion and politics. Judas, do we really know his motivation? One way or another, it is egoic. He has judged Jesus' behavior. It's not the behavior that he understands as being that of the Messiah. So whether he has given up on Jesus or he wants to sting Jesus into action, he is acting under his own judgment. We were read of the preparation for the Passover meal. Follow a man carrying a jar of water, says the Master to his disciples, and he will show you the way to the place where we will celebrate. Already furnished, there they prepare the supper. And then Luke's account of the first Eucharist, the breaking of bread, the pouring of wine, the sharing of body and blood. This part we will read again in a moment. And we will read from two other accounts. From John's Gospel. And from the Gospel of the Beloved Companion, Gospel of Mary Magdalene. In the reading from the Hebrew Bible, Lamentations, I will put these references next to the video or under the video, so you can follow them up if you like. But in Lamentations, there is the metaphor of a city fallen. Even the sanctuary, the holy place. And it says, she has even seen the nations invade her sanctuary. The worldly values, materialism and political power, oppression, have invaded the very heart of the holy place. In the temple space, we are not cocooned and shielded. From Luke's Gospel then. When the hour came, he took his place at the table. And the apostles with him. Let's follow your imagination. And let your breath carry you. Feel the tension. as well as the security in following ritual, remembering. And the meal. He said to them, I have eagerly desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. For I tell you, I will not eat it until it is fulfilled in the kingdom of God. Then he took a cup, and after giving thanks, he said, take this, divide it among yourselves. For I tell you that from now on, I will not drink of the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of God comes. Then he took a loaf of bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and gave it to them, saying, this is my body, which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me. And he did the same with the cup after supper, saying, this cup that is poured out for you is the new covenant in my blood. But see, the one who betrays me is with me, and his hand is on the table. For the Son of Man is going as it has been determined. But woe to that one by whom he is betrayed. Then they began to ask one another which one of them it would be who would do this. Is it I? Is it one of my friends here? It must be. Who is invading the sanctuary? In Luke's history, the mystic reality of the Eucharist is opened. We don't just hear history. we experience reality. We don't just think about God. We experience God in us. John, writing later than Luke, with a different purpose, draws out the mysticism during the supper. Jesus teaches where to find the Christ in us. From chapter 17, I do not pray for them alone, these at supper. I also pray for those who, through their teaching, will believe in me. All are to be one, just as you, Abba, Source, are in me, and I am in you. So they too are to become one in us. And a little later in the teaching, the glory you have bestowed on me, I have bestowed on them, that they may be one as we are one, I in them and you in me. Thus their oneness will be perfected. May the love with which you love me dwell in them as I dwell in them myself. The Christ is praying. The Christ is teaching contemplative prayer. Let us return our consciousness to our own breath. When Christ teaches, he breathes. Spirit. Who is invading the sanctuary? Is it I? Is it one of my friends here? These precepts and concepts I cherish so dearly? From the Gospel of the Beloved Companion. Yeshua was troubled in spirit and testified, "Only from the truth I tell you that one of you will betray me." The disciples looked at one another, perplexed about whom he spoke. The companion whom Yeshua loved was at the table, leaning against Yeshua's breast. Shimon, Kepha, therefore beckoned to her and said to her, "Tell us who it is of whom he speaks." She, leaning back as she was on Yeshua's breast, asked him, "Rabboni, who is it?" Yeshua therefore answered, "It is he to whom I will give this piece of bread when I have dipped it." So when he had dipped the piece of bread, he gave it to Judah, the son of Shimon the Kerioth. Then Yeshua said to him, "What you must do, do it quickly." Later, the disciples said to Yeshua, "When will you depart from us? Who is to be our leader?" And Yeshua said to them, "I will not leave you orphans. When a father goes away, it is the mother who tends the children. Only from the truth I tell you, there is one amongst you who has had my commandments and keeps them. That one is the one who loves me, and that one who loves me is also loved by me and by the Spirit. To that one I will reveal myself, so that you will know that what I have said to you is true, that I am in the Spirit as the Spirit is in me. And that same one will the Spirit complete in all ways, so that by this sign you may know my words are true, and that my testimony is of the Spirit. The one who sent me. Only from the truth I tell you, those amongst you who understand and keep my commandments will not taste death." Mary is the one who sits at Jesus' feet when he's teaching. Now, here in the Holy of Holies, her head is rested on his chest, where she can listen to his heart. She is the one who has taken my commandments. Remember the Aramaic, pakad. Repeated teaching, circular teaching, continuous teaching. She is the choice of Yeshua to lead the church. Through her, reality is revealed. Let words dissolve. In the inner room of your heart. Where Mary is the heart of Jesus, the Christ. Where the Holy of Holies is invaded by thoughts, schemes. But stay close to the heart of the Christ. And here expand from the room through the whole universe. Expand. There are no limits. Christ's consciousness, the love of God. I do not pray for these alone, these at supper. I also pray for those who through their teaching will believe in me. All are to be one, just as you, Abba, Source, are in me, and I am in you. So they too are to become one in us. Amen.